Welcome back to my channel called Keith's Classroom. In this episode, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. One is I've had some inquiries about, people have said, well, what's the things that above the taskbar? What are these controls for? Well, this is my picture viewer, and I have this picture that I created covering up my desktop. Why? Well, there's a lot of personal stuff on my desktop that I don't really want you to see. And then these controls up here are all based on that window picture viewer that comes with our computers. So, doesn't mean nothing, okay? So, on to the next project, which is I'm going to show you how to get and download and install super anti-spyware. When we are surfing the internet, regardless of what browser you're using, Edge, Firefox, Google Chrome, it doesn't matter. They all collect spyware. It's just the way that it works. Microsoft saw to that. When they first created Windows 10, they gave it away for a year. You might be wondering, scratching your head, where did they make their money at? They made their money creating spyware for advertisers. So you can blame all that on Microsoft. So people were making programs to combat the spyware. So spyware is a little program, a little cookie that's put on your computer to track you, so that everything you type in the keyboard is transmitted to whomever it was that created the spyware or has the spyware in the first place. So the advertisers are saying, we want to know where you go, what you do, what you say, so we can gear advertising toward you. And then the crooks are like, yeah, we'd like to know where you go to your bank at, and then that way we can gear bad things toward you. Yeah, thanks a lot. So there's a lot of different programs out there, and the one that I settled on for a long time now is Super Anti-Spyware. You can pay for it, or you can get it for free. I've always used the free programs. So I'll show you how to get it. So I use Firefox browser as my main browser, and I use Yahoo search engine as my main search engine, and that's the page it's going to open up to here shortly. Okay, so up here is the search, where you can search, and again up here is an address bar. Okay, that's where if you know the actual address, like yahoo.com or msn.com or hotmail.com, or if you walmart.com, that's where you put it, up here in this address. But if you don't know the address and you got to go find it, this is where you type that. So I'm going to type free super anti-spyware. I'll leave it there for a minute so you can write it down on a piece of paper. If I've worked on your computer, I've already got it installed on your computer. If I haven't worked on your computer and you're new to the channel, write it down, free super anti-spyware. And we don't want to click on any of these things here, well, because they pay money to put these links here. Sometimes these links are not what you think they are. So I like to go where I know things are. So I'm going to hit the search right here. Now, let's see, hold on a minute. I may take this one, I may not. Let me scroll down here and see what's going on. Okay, so maybe I will take the first one here. We're going to find out right quick if this is what I want. So we're going to click on this one here. Okay, cool. So that did take us. So if you actually go to their website, Super Anti-Spyware's website, that free edition is not listed anymore. They've taken it off. But here they have it. So you just scroll down a little bit. You don't want to click on download or none of that. You want to come down here to click on download free edition. So right there. And then with Mozilla Firefox, it will download right here. And if you've got the Edge browser, I believe it's going to download it right in the same area, and Google Chrome might even do the same thing. I don't use Google Chrome, so I can't tell you exactly how that goes. But you see, they're offering it to you for sale. Oh, they're going to give, it was $64.90, and they're going to give you a $20. Forget that, you know. I mean, if you can get it for free, why pay for it? So right there, we're going to click on that little icon. And we don't need to be here anymore, so we can close all this out. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? And the answer is yes, you do. We're trying to set up Super Anti-spyware. If you click no, it won't install. So don't click no. Click yes. Then we're going to close out of here. We're going to close out of here. And we're going to close this browser. Welcome to Super Anti-spyware Free Edition Wizard. Okay, so you can read all that at your leisure. I'm just going to click next. Do we want to agree to this? Yep, you got to agree to it if you want to install it. So we are going to agree to it. And you might be wondering about, oh, this is outdated. This is 2023 and this is 2025. Well, not exactly. I mean, that's when they did come out with this particular one. But you can update this, and I highly recommend that you update it before you run the program, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so you click I agree. Now, if I've already worked on your computer, don't do this because you already have it on your computer. Okay, but if not worked on your computer, you need this program. You want to leave that to anyone. Click next. Don't change any settings. Click next, and let it install. Just gotta kind of wait it out. Don't register it with them. Keep it anonymous. Click next. Now, it's up to you whether you want to uncheck this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You can uncheck it if you want to. Click next. And it's done. It was successfully installed. Click finish. Now the box is going to reappear. I hope. Here it is. We're going to skip this. We don't want this. And skip. It's going to open up the website offering it to you for sale. Don't buy it. Just go to the top and exit out. There it is, offering it to you for sale again. Don't upgrade. Don't upgrade. Just X out. Alright, so everything below where my mouse arrow is, everything below costs money. It's an ad. Ignore it. Because we're getting this for free, we can't do any of these things in yellow. That's for the Pro feature that costs money. And we don't want to update it over here. Ever. Not ever. But we do want to do this. So we're going to click here to check for updates. And then if it does have an update, right here is where it will download. And when it gets through downloading, it will then change the screen to this, and it will give you the OK button that it's okay, that it downloaded what it needed. Now, why do you need to update it? Well, advertisers are taking these programs into their lab to find out how it's finding their spyware. Then they alter their spyware a little bit. Now, this program can't find it unless it updates to the latest definitions. I'll give you an example. I had a customer that was not updating it, but they were running it pretty regularly. But they weren't updating it, and their computer was slow. It was just getting slower and slower, and that's one of the side effects of spyware. It'll make your computer just slower than molasses. So I ran the program, and it found like really an abnormal amount, 300 and some spyware, and I deleted those. And she says, yes, that's what I do. I do that all the time. And I said, all right, now watch what's going to happen. I'm going to update it, and I did update it, like I just showed you to do. and then I clicked OK, and I turned right around and I clicked on scan this computer. Don't change any settings, don't move nothing around here, don't change nothing. Simply click on quick scan. And after I updated, I clicked on quick scan, and you won't believe how many spyware I found. It was like 1,100 and some. Now that was 1,100 and some spyware that was left on her computer after she ran this program because she didn't update it properly. You need to update every time you run this program. Before you run it, click on that little file at the bottom right side that says check here to click here to check for updates, and you need to do that. It's important, really important. The faster your computer, the faster this scan will run. The slower your computer, the slower it'll run. Now, if you've never run this program before, it's going to start showing a whole bunch of stuff in here, and we want to delete everything that it finds. We don't want to keep any of it. And you'll be amazed, if you've never had this program before, you will be amazed at the speed difference of getting rid of the spyware, how your computer will react to that. It'll be like a breath of fresh air. It'll go, holy cow, I can run again. And as long as you're on the internet, and that's what we have our computers for, right? As long as we're on the internet, as long as we open a browser, as long as we go and search for different things, if you go to Facebook, it doesn't matter. If you have Zoom meetings, you're going to pick up spyware. It's the way it works. And the only way, there's no way to block it. The only thing we can do is run programs to delete it off of our computer. And that's what this is all about. Now, once upon a time, with Windows 10 and all the past operating systems, I recommended everybody run this daily. Update it and run daily. But now with Windows 11, and it being mandatory that you have a solid state drive, which this computer does not have, this has a HDD drive. So the HDD drives were in all the past operating systems. That's what we grew up with Windows 3.1 all the way up to where we're at today. This is Windows 10, and a lot of you have already made the switch to Windows 11, and maybe today will be my day if I can find enough time to do it. But I can't upgrade this one to Windows 11 because it's not upgradable. But I do have a different computer I'm going to put online, and it's got Windows 11 on it, and it's the one that I've been selling, and that's it's a great computer. I just can't say enough good things about it. One of these days, soon, hopefully maybe this weekend, I'll be talking to you about upgrading your computer, what you should buy. So I see lots of computers. I see AMD processors and Celeron processors and Atom processors and i5s, i3s, Pentium processors, and man, it used to be that I would recommend a Pentium, but I don't do that anymore. And I used to recommend an i3, but I don't do that anymore. Why? Because they're just slow. Comparable to things nowadays, they're just slow processors. Back in the day, they were super fast, but it's not that way anymore. So really, I only recommend two processors. But we'll get into that in another video. We're going to stick with this one, Super Anti-Spyware. We're getting rid of spyware. It's searching my computer. It may not find anything. You probably saw by that little note in red that said I hadn't run it for 8 days. Well, it gets to the point where, like I said in the beginning, when spyware was really, really bad, and before they started beefing up their browsers blocking the spyware, it made it used to find a lot of spyware, but nowadays it doesn't find as much on my computer. Every computer is different. So anyway, you update Super Anti-Spyware, and how often do you run it? Well, with Windows 10 and Windows 11, I'm going to say once a week. So you see, free edition, didn't find anything. We don't click on Pro Scan because that's the one they want you to buy. You just, if it found anything, this would say continue, and you would click continue. Then it would come to another screen and you would click continue to get rid of the spyware. But in my case it did not have any spyware, and so you click OK, and it takes you back to the beginning. This is the beginning. Okay. Another thing that you want to do is you've never had this on your computer before, you go in here to System Tools and you come down here to Preferences and make sure that all these here are unchecked. Now I saw that one there's checked, so the reason I checked that is I want to come back here. You watch, just give me a minute, that'll go away, it'll come back. There it is. We're going to go back here to System Tools and Preferences. See, we want to uncheck all this. Okay, and when we click on this it'll shut off and it'll come back, and those three things that we unchecked will be still unchecked. System Tools, Preferences, see, they're unchecked. We don't want to change anything in here. So we're done doing that. We're done doing this. We're not messing around with nothing in here. And then if you've never run this program before, I highly recommend after you run the quick scan, if it found something. If it didn't find anything, then don't worry about it. But if it found something and you got rid of it, click on Scan This Computer and do a complete scan. It takes a long time. It really depends on the size of your hard drive and how fast your computer is. I have a very large hard drive on this computer. That's one of the things I'm going to miss with the new computer. I don't have a monster hard drive on it. But I have a lot of stuff, mainly because for a while there, when I first started doing computers, I was doing web pages for hire. And I did a lot of web pages, and I have a lot of that content still on my computer. It takes up a lot of space, so I had to have a lot of things. So anyway, so we're done doing this, so we're going to X out, and that's Super Anti-Spyware. That's how you download it, that's how you install it, that's how you run it, and I recommend that if you got Windows 10 or Windows 11, you run that weekly. Run it on a quick scan and get rid of whatever it finds, and then if it doesn't find anything, great, just close it out. But if it does find something and you get rid of it, turn around and run a complete scan, because sometimes that spyware hides really deep in our computers and sometimes it'll find one or two spyware if you run a complete scan. Sometimes it'll find a whole lot more. It just depends on where you've been. Like recipe sites are just loaded with spyware. I mean, they are just crazy loaded with spyware. And then there's a lot of other sites too that have a lot of spyware in them. But that's what you do. That's Super Anti-Spyware. I'm going to get off here and try to enjoy my Saturday. I might turn around and do another video, I'm not sure. But what would spoil everything would be if my telephone rings. Then it would be in the recording. So God bless, and we'll see you on the next video, and I'll try like heck not to cut my voice off at the end. I'll wait a couple seconds before I end it. See you on the next video.